Okay, hello, grade sevens. I'm going to try to talk louder so hopefully you can hear me better. And I've changed the mic place, but we'll see. So just quick review from last lesson. So last time we were talking about parallel and perpendicular lines, and I'll quickly review how we can draw those and label those. So one of the easiest ways, I think, to do parallel lines is you first take your ruler out. So here's my ruler, and I'm also going to take my right angle triangle, and let me just rotate this, wow, around to there. I'm just going to place it right on my ruler, and my ruler is a straight line across, and I'm just going to put it right against around where the 1 is there, and draw a line up my right angle triangle. If I move it over, and I keep my ruler nice and still where it is, nice and straight there, the angle that my line is going to be the exact same as this other line that I drew, and so I can draw my second line, and these are parallel. They're going in the exact same direction, and so I can draw my little arrows on them that tell me, yes, those are parallel to each other. This ruler does not have to be straight across. If I can figure out how to make it, here we go like this. I could again just take my straight edge and set it so it too is at the same angle, something like that. And I could draw another set of parallel lines. Whoa, there we go. Another set of parallel lines like that. And then I can just move my right angle triangle over a little ways, however far I need to. I draw my other line, and now here's a second set of lines, not parallel to the first set, but parallel to each other. So I would have to do 2 arrows on this one to say on each of them to say, yes, these 2 are parallel to each other, but they're different than these other 2, and so they don't have the same number of little arrows. So that is probably the easiest way to draw parallel lines, although there are other ways. And now if we wanted to draw perpendicular lines, so perpendicular means going right in opposite angles or opposite directions, 90 degrees from each other. I'll bring this down to 0. Again, the easiest way, there's many ways, but here's, I think, the simplest way. I'm going to take my ruler, I am going to draw a line along my ruler, and I can now label this. I'm going to pick a point. I'm going to say, put this to 0. Well, let's say at the 5 centimeter mark, I wanted to draw a perpendicular line, so I'd make a point right there. I could label these. I could label this A, this end B, and this point right here C. And I want to make a perpendicular line at point C, so I am going to take my protractor. I am going to put where it meets in the middle there, right on that point. Tricky. Oops. Okay, and then I am going to, right at the 90-degree point, put a little mark. Now when I move my protractor away, and how about we just get rid of it? Now I can take my ruler, put it upright, connect these 2 points, point C and my new point. I draw a line through them, and this line is going perpendicular to line AB, so we could call this line CD. CD is going perfectly perpendicular, or 90 degrees to AB, and to mark it so, we do a little square. That's an ugly square, but it does mean that it is perpendicular. So that's a quick review from last lesson. So today is a very short lesson in a very short section in the chapter, section 3.2, not 3.1. Section 3.2, perpendicular bisectors. So here we have an image of a perpendicular bisector, and what that means is that we have a line, and here we have line AB, and it is being perpendicularly bisected by point CD. So here we have point CD, and we just went over how to make a perpendicular line like that. But this line is somewhat special because it exactly cuts line A and B in half. And so that is why we have these little dashes in line AB, and that tells us that line segment A to D is the same distance as line segment D to B. And those little dashes tell us that. So line CD is a perpendicular line cutting line AB exactly in half. So bisect means to cut something in half, cut something into two equal parts. So this section is just all about being able to draw not just a perpendicular line, but a perpendicular bisector. So how do we do this? There are a few ways. I'm going to show you two of the ways that are easiest for me to show you on the screen here. And really this first one I'm showing you is the easiest way to do it. So you have a line. Let's first make a line. I make a line. Now I need to cut that line in half. So I want to find where exactly is the middle point of that line. Well, to do that, I need to take my ruler. Oops. I'm going to take my ruler. I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to measure this line. Look at that. It's exactly pretty much 11. Yeah, let's call that 11 digital centimeters. And so I need to say, okay, well, what's the halfway point of 11? To do that, to find half of 11, I just take 11, I divide it by 2, and you should get that that is 5.5. So I'm going to find 5.5 along here. I have 0 right on the end of the line there, so 5.5 would be right here. So I know that that is exactly halfway along that line. And now to make a perpendicular line at that point, I can simply just take my right angle triangle, I set it so it is flat along that line, and I set it so that the edge going up is right by my halfway point. Then I just continue to draw that line, and that line bisects my first line. So let's label these. So I have line AB is perfectly bisected by line CD. And that's one way to do it. Simple. The second way to do it is to use a compass and a ruler. So this isn't quite as easy, but it's sort of neat. So again, I'm going to draw a line. So let me draw a line. So here's my line. I am first going to take my compass, which is this thing, which is, oh boy, just sort of pointy on one end, and you have your pencil in the other end. Here I have my digital marker in there. So I'm going to move it so that the pointy end, not the part that draws, goes right on the edge of my line. And I'm going to extend, let me figure out how to move this. Yeah, I'm going to extend it so it comes past half. Now I don't know exactly where half is, but I know that where my marker is, I know that that is past half. So now that it's past half, I'm going to make a swooping arc. So I just go like this, I draw perfectly, good. Okay, now here's where it becomes a bit tricky. So, oh no, I think I even moved my, oh no, it's about the same. Okay, so my compass is at 88 degrees apart. Really, if you were using yours, you just have to make sure you don't squeeze it in anymore. So if I squeeze it in, oh, that's a problem. I have to move it back out so it's at 88. Wow, why did this switch? Oh, I see. Okay, well, sorry, I was at 259 degrees. But I'm going to switch this now. I'm going to keep it the same, stretch the same amount. I'm going to bring the point over to the other end. And again, I'm going to make a nice swooping arc. Oh, I didn't make my first one big enough. So let's switch this back to the other side. I put the pointy end in. I didn't make it big enough, so let's, oh no. go. Well, that mostly worked out. Sorry, these digital things are hard to use. So I have these two connecting arches coming across my line. So what I can actually do is take my ruler and swing it around. And I'm going to connect these 2 points where they intersect. And I'm going to draw a line right down in between that connects them. And if done correctly, which maybe I didn't, but if done correctly, this line here, this blue line, is a perpendicular bisector, and I could get rid of my red lines if it let me. And that is a line that exactly cuts this black line in half. So let's again label our lines, which is always good to do. So you have line AB, this is line CD, and line CD exactly cuts line AB in half at 90 degrees. So I can draw in my little 90-degree symbol there. And this side is the exact same length as this side, so I can add my dashes. And that is how you use a compass and a ruler. So 2 different ways. You'll practice both of those in class. Definitely method 1, using a ruler and a right angle triangle, is the easiest, and you're less likely to mess up like I did. And that is the end of this lesson for today, for section 3.2. So, see you later.